Lux Angus here. Today's topic is about the ultimate sacrifice that you will make and or do sooner or later on a path of spiritual self-development and occult self-development and magical self-development. All is together, I think. Of my own path, I think magic, spirituality, occultism can be practiced together, and it just feels right by my own experience to do so. And I came to acknowledge that on this path, it is a path of deep sacrifices one must and will make along the way. How can this look like, or what are sacrifices in its essence? Sacrifices are like, in essence, offerings. Offerings to a aspect of your inner and outer reality, so that this aspect can open up itself, can release its potentiality, can open and realize itself. Why is that? You know, we as spirits and souls, we are incarnated, and incarnation just means you are, it comes from carnation, which is becoming into flesh again, or it's like, yeah, you are refleshing yourself. Your spirit, your soul is refleshing yourself, giving yourself a form. Thus our form is limited to a certain degree. Our form, our physical flesh, and our mind has certain capacities, has certain limitations. And now some impressions from this lifetime and previous lifetimes and existences, etc., etc. It has many impressions, many attachments, many internal energies that made you who you are now, and that you as an initiate or as someone who want to practice magic, spirituality, occultism, you want to unleash higher capacities within yourself. So that means reaching your own capacities, reaching these new occult capacities. What does it need from you? It needs the room. It needs a new space. It needs new perspective. It needs new energy. In this time frame, we could argue that everything that is and will be already exists and just comes into being. But due to our limitations as this threefold being of flesh, spirit, and soul, we need to sacrifice and let go of certain things. And the most truest and potent sacrifice you could ever make is only aspects of your own self, of your own perspective, of your own mind, of your own ego, of your own understanding, of your own consciousness, etc. What we want to sacrifice in these aspects of our own self are aspects of ourselves that are in disalignment to the unleashment of the highest evolution and truest potential of your own being. How can this look like? How can these aspects look like that I am right now telling you about? These are, for example, aspects of the ego, of a shadowy self, that, for example, uses certain coping mechanisms, be it escaping reality via phone, be it using drugs, be it any type of addictions that you have that are just distracting you from you. These things are misdirected aspects of yourself, or the false or lower aspects of yourself, which is correct, which is alright. They are as natural, as normal as anything else, and they are not to be judged and condemned as evil upon. They are not evil, they are not bad, they are not to be restricted or undermined, they are to be respected, acknowledged, and being made conscious of as anything else positive in life. It has the same importance as your authentic self. Why I'm telling you this is it's based upon a symbol of yin and yang. The dark cannot live without the light, and the light without the dark, and in the light is darkness, and in the darkness is light. Without the inauthenticity, without the foundation of the dark, without the foundation of not knowing what is the aspects of you which is not in alignment to you, but are in misalignment to you, you will never know what it actually is, or you will never get the taste of the opposite of it. And when you experience both aspects of it, you can bring both together and form a dynamic force. And this dynamic force brings us evolution, thus holistic empowerment, and thus the expansion of our awareness consciousness. So you see, the ultimate, truest sacrifice on this path of occultism and spirituality is related to your ego and to your consciousness, and to your awareness, to your understanding, to your habits, etc. Nothing really outside of you. Of course, there are unfortunate people who only practice sacrifices outside of them, which is not wrong. People sacrifice incense, people sacrifice candles, people sacrifice their artwork, people sacrifice even animals. And everything has their place. Of course, when in regards to animals in today's time and age, we do not like it, we condemn it, because it's a taboo practice, so to say. But honestly, if you are a meat eater, and you are already sacrificing animal in a sense to your own body, to your own existence, to your own furtherance. Everybody sacrifices some things for themselves. Be it money, be it animals, be it vegetation, be it earth, be it etc. It's an endless cycle of energies being transformed in death energies. Because through sacrifice, the living energies becomes death energies, and through death energies can you generate change, fluctuation, raw potentiality, and thus manifestation. Without death energy and sacrifice, nothing really changes, or hardly changes, because of this nature. Because when death is happening, sacrifice is happening, 100% transformation is happening at the same time. So you realize how potent it is to sacrifice things, be it inside of you or outside of you. So realize the most potent sacrifice of them all must happen inside of you, because it's literally you. It's inside of you. This energy will be generated inside of you. And you are the person to be deified. You are the person to be evolving. You are the person to become better. Not necessarily focused upon a world around you, which is also a part of this practice. You practice lower magic and such to get more money or luck, etc. But the biggest fundamental change can only happen if this transformation truly happens inside of you. So, and also this, before I end this video, animal sacrifice is of course frowned upon, is of course not a practice that anybody, you know, how to say this, that nobody should practice this with an very, very unevolved awareness. You should not kill something outside of you with a awareness of malice, with a awareness of being hungry in some sorts, with a awareness of doing it in a sense to gain some sorts of a selfish, to say that, not a degenerative, de-evolving, selfish empowerment or furtherance. What I mean by that, you must be aware, even in curses, when you are starting sacrifices, like sacrificing anything, you must be aware we do have a bigger or smaller connection to everything that exists, be it light or dark, etc. Just depends of our own polarization consciousness, how much you have these certain attachments to the being. And so is the animal that is also attached and also in a certain degree connected to you. So you be aware that the animal that you are sacrificing with an more so a heightened awareness, how can this heightened awareness look like? You come with an understanding that this animal is also a part of you, and thus you must do it with a huge amount of self-love and self-acceptance, and know that you right now have a responsibility to bear, that you are right now releasing the life force energy into death by your own hands outside of you, and thus also partially inside of you. At the same time, because something that happens outside of you also partially reflects back into you. So you must be aware that this death energy you're generating through the sacrifice of the animal will also sooner or later happen inside of you. This correspondence will happen inside of you also, to a certain degree. So you must bear the responsibility to help this energy that you're releasing, their awareness in the energies, to get to a higher space. That this energy that you're releasing is being used for a higher evolutionary space, not only for very low selfish reasons for selfish reasons that are empty in nature. Of course, people will do that also, and everything and everybody needs their own experience to bear sooner or later, even this type of experience. But be aware that it bears responsibility of transition, of even self-sacrifice, of death energy, of even releasing certain type of life force energy and deep repressed energy inside of you when you're doing this. And most are not aware of it, and when you're doing this, they even traumatize themselves with the animals further, because they are holding on to this gruesome experience. But it doesn't need to be a gruesome experience. It can be a very sacred, mystical, and trance-like experience at the same time. And that's the reason why many shamans or older cultures, they, for example, had incense or music playing that keep the animal and the person doing the sacrifice in a high state, in a trance state, so the animal and the person doing this stuff can transition to high energies and are not very much so attached to any of this, But still, this alchemical process of death and transformation outside of you will also happen inside of you to a certain degree. And yeah, and I'm not speaking here out of theory as you suspect. I grew up at a farm. At a farm, we grew chickens, and we grew chicken, And I had to make my own experience in this direction when I came to know the parts of magic, which is in dark magic, animal sacrifice. Of course, sooner or later, as a boy on a farm, especially when your family gets older, you must sooner or later also bear its responsibility, and you must also learn the aspects of the farm which is not light in nature. Nothing on the farm uh, is, it's light in nature. Everything requires hard work and diligence and patience and a certain type of maturity to handle it. So I've been forced with killing animals, learning this trade, and I approached it as good as I can in a very spiritual manner, as I described. And I can tell you, it's a very deep, sacred, and heavy thing to do. I don't find joy in it. I'm not proud of it, but I came to acknowledging that it is unfortunately, or fortunately, how I want to see it, a part of life, and one should learn to handle it in a rather holistic and grounded manner. And yeah, all in that, Naga bless, and we shall see and hear us surely again.